Just always having that feeling like we could do more. Now I'm gonna cry. Okay, well, if we can just give a child a home, they'll experience what love and support and stability and just a little bit of peace would be. Or they're there for such a short time and then they're moved again. Or you can't get them the therapy that they need. And then as you bring them in, you find out more about their story.
The biggest area of kids in need is right here. If you add up Douglas, Leavenworth, Wyandotte, and Johnson, you're about 1,600 kids in care just in these 4 counties. So we wanted to be as close as we could to the biggest need, and we kind of fell in love with the property. I had a lot of stuff already on here that could begin to be used immediately and used for the therapy of the kids, and already had a home on it where we could begin to put the first family on. We couldn't buy a large piece of ground without the ability to develop it, so there would be a contingency on getting it rezoned. Yes, most people in a real estate deal, if there's a 2-month contingency, it's a no. As we're going through inspections, the owner of the home shows up, and I found out that in his own life, he grew up in a foster family, and his sister was adopted. And he began to look at who Joy Meadows was, and he realized, I believe in what they're doing, I'm in support of what they're doing. And so when it came to a contingency of a couple months, he was glad to give it because he was for foster kids. He was for Joy Meadows.
And so we started the process and filed the applications and worked with the architect and the engineers and everything to get the site plan done. And then we had our first public hearing at the Planning and Zoning Commission. We knew there would be some pushback just because it's different, it's changed, but we were really shocked to find out how much that night, and we were denied it passing as a planned unit development at that meeting.
Some of the fears that people have, they believe that the kids are in care because of the violence that they've done. And they didn't realize that the kids are the victims, that they're the ones that were victimized. That's why they're in care. They're thinking of detention centers or orphanages or large group homes or complexes. They really didn't know what the rezoning was for. And so when that got voted down, it immediately goes to the county commissioners. Well, in the meantime, that was a story that got picked up. Channel 4, 41 News, Kansas City Star, Joy Meadows to get rejected, foster care is getting rejected, and that began to bring a lot of awareness that we wouldn't have had before. When we went to the county commissioners meeting, the owners are there, and they're passing out stickers. We vote yes for foster kids. And everybody in the room, so all these, we have all these people there wearing stickers that say, vote yes for foster kids. So from one meeting where there was a lot of just fear and anger to this meeting where we have a group of people now unified and fighting for foster kids. It was a beautiful thing, and it wasn't us, it was God.
We don't want to alienate the community. We don't want to change it. We just want to use it for its beauty, really the healing that you can find when you are out in nature, when you do see the crops and the livestock and the land, and that we want to keep families together so that instead the focus could be on the foster children and how we can help them. There was going to be some restrictions on the number of homes and the time frame we could do that. And so on the day we found out that it passed as a planned unit development, we were sitting on this property, got a message from a supporter that we've had for Joy Meadows. And basically it was, we're next door at the property that's for sale, that's an additional 30 acres. We went over there and found out that they're buying that property for Joy Meadows to get to use so we can provide really this full plan of horses, therapy, animals, all of it. So we won't be limited just by even the 23 acres, but it just doubles what we can provide for kids and families.
One of the contingencies was I had to put a hard surface road on. So when you start doing the math on that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I called this board member and said, hey, I said, you know a road guy, right? Ham Companies is in kind of the Perry, Lawrence areas where they're at. They do a lot of road development. And I'm sitting with Jeff Ham. And I said, well, I can't build a home for any foster kids until I have a road going through that property. Jeff really quickly just kind of looks and goes, okay. And he goes, yeah, I think we can do that. Between, our company and some of the partners we have, he said, I think we can make this happen. And I was just like shocked. I was in awe. Even talking to Jeff, he brought his family up to the property, and he comes up and he said, I can't believe it. I pulled up to the top of that hill. He said, you took my wife's breath away. This is the most beautiful thing. So I can't help but seeing foster families up here just thriving.
Just the idea of the moment they come into care, that there's a place for them to go. They're not getting divided all up. With Joy Meadows, we'll have a place to say, here, you can go, you can all go together. There won't be the excuse of their behaviors and traumas are so bad they have to be split, because we'll have resources to pour into that foster family here so they're not doing it alone. We won't be waiting 3 months, 4 months to hopefully get them set up with a therapist. We'll have that right away because we have that resource already set up for that foster family and that foster child. We'll have a protocol of what are their sensory needs, what should we do to help them feel safe. So really, all of that would just be transformational in what a placement would look like for them. These are children that are right now in neighborhoods in our community, and you can't identify foster homes by barbed wire fence around their house or anything like that. So, and that's our whole desire, is to have a normal family setting for foster children. We know that that's where they do best.
I feel like we've spent 2 years to this moment where we finally got the land, we got the property, and now we can start.